Recording of a translation and discussion of Chapter 5, Ecce Romani, Marcus to the Rescue. Cornelia et Flavia. So Cornelia and Flavia, Saipe, often, ambulant walk. They often do walk, they often are walking, in horto, in the garden. Si dies est calidus, if the day is hot. And here, please notice that est is a linking verb. Calidus is masculine, singular, nominative, and that tells you that dies, although it is not one of the first, second, or third declension words that we have learned, it's actually fifth declension, there are 5 total, tells us about dies, because if est is a linking verb, then, of course, dies has to be all the things that calidus is. So if the day is hot or warm, they walk, they are walking, they do walk, ex horto, out of the garden, in silvam, into the forest. Remember, in plus an accusative form, am or or em, depending upon the declension, makes the in translate as into. Quod, because, ibi, there is a ribus frigidus, a cold stream. In eadem silva, in the same forest, pueri quoque saepe errant, the boys also often wander. Hodie. Today, because the day is warm, puellae sub arbore prope rivum sedent. The girls are sitting, do sit, under the tree near the stream. Dum ibi sedent, while they sit there. Flavia, implied, says. Even though there's not the word says, because we're going directly into quotes, it is an implication. Cur Marcus arbores ascendere non vult. Why does Marcus non vult not want? Why is he not wanting ascendere, to climb trees? A couple of things here. One, ascendere is an infinitive. Infinitives are forms of verbs that do not have a subject, and so therefore we translate them instead of I, you, he, we, all, they verb. It's going to be to verb, and so here ascendere, to climb. You will notice it by the last 3 letters. It could be a long A-R-E, could be a long E-R-E, it could be like this word, a short E-R-E, or it could be a long I-R-E, and that's how you will know. And it will be working with another verb, a finite verb, a verb that does have a subject, which of course here is vult, helping to complete that meaning. Arbores as well is the object, the direct object of ascendere, and here we can see it is what we call the accusative plural, and it has a long es ending. Nevertheless, esne puer ignaus, is he a cowardly or lazy boy? And of course, the ne on the end of s tells us that this is a question. Minime respondet Cornelia. Leastly, Cornelia responds. Cur tu Marcum non amas? Why do you not like Marcus? Here again, to is unnecessary because the ending on amas has an s, and that tells us that the subject of amas is you. It's here, the to, simply to add emphasis, and Marcum, of course, is the direct object accusative. Marcus neque ignavus, neque temerarius est. Marcus is neither lazy or cowardly, nor reckless, temerarius. Tum Flavia. Then Flavia, again, no word for says, but it's implied, said Marcus est semper solicitus. But Marcus is always anxious, worried. Sextum nihil terret. Even though sextum is the first word, it's the direct object, as we can see with that accusative ending. So nihil is our subject, actually. Nothing frightens Sextus, nothing terrifies Sextus. Subito lupum conspiciunt, qui ad ribum furtum descendit. Suddenly, they catch sight of a wolf, lupum, qui, who climbs down, descendit towards the stream stealthily, furtively. Perterritae sunt puellae. The girls are terrified. Statim clamant. Immediately they shout. Marcus Sextus. Of course, in the form that you have it, they are being spoken directly to. And so you take off their normal ending in the nominative us and replace it with an e. This is a new case that is called the vocative case. Nominative, subject, accusative, direct object, and vocative, direct address. Ferte auxilium, bring help, bring help. The boys, let me scroll a little bit, there we are. Pueri, ubi clamorem audiunt, boys, when they hear the shout or the shouting, and you can see here, it's a third declension accusative form, and we don't know the gender of it. Remember, the third declension might be a masculine word, the third declension noun might be a feminine word, and you don't know unless it would be modified perhaps by an adjective, which of course this is not. So the boys, when they hear the shout or the shouting, statim ad puellas currunt, immediately they are running, they do run to the girls, towards the girls. Lupus eos jam conspicit, the wolf now spots them. Eos. Then sextus, tum sextus, quod lupus eum terret, because the wolf terrifies him, arbrum petit, he looks for, he seeks the tree, and immediately he climbs, implied again the direct object, tree. Sed Marcus ramum aripit, but Marcus grabs the branch, ramum, and he is driving off the wolf. Puellae e sulla currunt, the girls run out of the forest. And they, adveniunt with the nt, and here it's modified, girls, by the word salvai, an adjective that, of course, if it is implying, modifying they, the girls, is going to be nominative because girls, they, the subject, and feminine, so salvai, they, safe and sound, or they, safe, arrive, adveniunt, at the country house or to the country house. In English, we would say that they arrived to the country house safely, but in Latin, they prefer the adjective to modify the subject instead of using an adverb. Brevi tempore, in a short time, when Marcus arrives, ubi can mean when or where, but in this instance, it's probably going to indicate when because it is temporal, as you can see, brevi tempore, in a short time, when Marcus arrives, they, the happy ones, welcome him. Again, we see to where Latin likes the adjective to modify the subject, and they, the happy ones, but we would want to say they welcome him happily. And remember, for both salvai and laitai as an adjective, to, in Latin, turn it into an adverb, you would take off the ending, in this instance, ae, and also in this instance, ae, and add a long e. So if it were truly an adverb, it'd be salve, safely, or laite, happily. Sextus, comma, puer ignavus, the cowardly boy, adhuc sedet in arbore, still sits in the tree, terrified. Paeteritus, modifying understood sextus. Please note here as well, puer is renaming sextus, and so it is what we call an appositive. An appositive is a word that renames another word in the sentence, usually set off by commas, as we can see here. That gives us more information about it. Ex arbore descendere timet. He fears to climb down out of the tree. And again, the infinitive, as you can see, descendere, is going to be recognized by a long are, a long ere, here, of this variety of verb, a short ere, or a long ire. It is an infinitive because it is a verb that does not have a subject. If the verb does have a subject, we call it finite, and thus the infinitive is going to work with a finite word and complete the meaning of it. He fears to climb down out of the tree. So good luck. Hopefully you study and do well in this chapter.